Undercover Carson, secret agent. Operation Death Ray, an assignment in Rio.
The all-knowing Charco had only to track down the mysterious Cossack, and it seemed he had the full secret on the death ray. Meanwhile, Sir Giles Davenport and I, with indispensable assistance from his servant Angelo, were following up every possible avenue. Hetty Fitzhenry, the American bird painter, was all eager to spill the beans about my former school chum, Roger Deauville, and we had forestalled his attempt to get her out of the country. It was early morning in Sir Giles' Copacabana apartment when Hetty sat up, ready to tell everything. But Deauville had been lurking on the boulevard outside. Now, with an ugly bunch of peons, he was moving towards the apartment building.
Bruce, Sir Giles, understand this. Roger Deauville is liable to try anything to stop me blabbing about his private affairs.
Realize that, Hetty.
But the fella wouldn't dare walk into this building. He wouldn't dare.
Excellency, before the entrance, they halt to confer.
Just let them try barging their way into this apartment. They'll get a lively reception.
In addition to Senor Deauville, Excellency, they number 5.
5, Joe?
Si.
6 in all. Don't particularly care for it, Sir Giles.
Nor I. But, Angelo...
By the back approach of the building, Excellency, I leave at once.
Why, old fella?
The situation demands the attention of my relatives.
Relatives? Oh, well...
I will return with many of them, Excellency.
Yes, but will you be able to get out of the place?
Indeed.
If Angelo is able to get out, couldn't we all get out?
The exit which I use demands the risk of a difficult descent.
I'm willing to tackle anything.
It would be much too difficult for the senorita. Excellency, I will hasten.
Very well, then, and see that the door locks after you.
Indeed.
Best of luck.
I have already spoken with the good spirits.
Well, now...
keep hardware handy.
Hardware?
Gun.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, here we are.
And I have something more substantial than pipe.
Bruce, I can't understand how you two characters... Oh, pardon the expression, Sir Giles.
I think it's most delightful. But do go on.
Well, I just can't understand how you're so cool and collected.
Why waste good energy being het up? Now then, what's all this about you forging paintings? Or is Carson wrong?
I don't think so, sir. Here's a sample, Hetty.
Carson, you son of a gun. Where did you get that painting?
We took the liberty of looking over your flat.
So you did?
And I stumbled upon this.
Well...
When finished, my dear, it would be a nice forgery of that superb 19th century bird painter, Audubon.
Superb.
Oh, very convincing, anyway. Enough to trick most people.
But not expert Carson.
Well, numbering bird watching amongst hobbies has made me rather keen-eyed as far as such paintings are concerned.
I can imagine.
Now, Hetty, we're not trying to be clever. It's just that we think that you've been forging Audubons, and...
Okay, I have. But I started it during the war in the States, when Roger was down to his last cent.
Rather suspected something like that.
He's the rottenest character ever I met. I did it to help him out, and ever since he's held it over my head.
Blackmailed you, eh?
Yeah.
Blackmailed you into acting as his accomplice in certain, underground activities here.
Yes, again.
Miss Fitzhenry, let me make something very clear to you. The fact that we know this will never mean any trouble and discomfort for you.
Oh, well, I guess I've had all the trouble and discomfort I want, being forced to snoop on Bruce and snoop on other people.
But why did you allow yourself to be ordered around to such an extent?
I guess I still had a spark of affection for the guy. Fitzhenry's never amounted to much, but they have got a crazy streak.
And, of course, Hetty, something's driven you to, our arms, let us say.
Something certainly has. Oh,
Hetty.
It's the way he's been carrying on with that Sally Bruin.
So that's it. But Hetty...
The old trouble, Bruce.
Oh, just sit back.
Thanks.
And don't try to force the story.
I guess I can't. It's just that when I think of what he's done to her and to Bruce, I get so fighting mad I can't do anything about it.
Hetty. Out to it again.
White as a sheet once more.
Better give her another dose of those pills. Now, meanwhile, Sir Giles, what about Deauville and his retinue?
I'll go to the balcony, Carson.
Well, sir, if they're going to force this issue here, one thing's certain. We won't be able to move Hetty. Deauville wasn't in sight, but Sir Giles spotted a number of doubtful characters lounging with studied nonchalance outside the entrance and on the beach side of the boulevard. 10 very tense minutes passed before Hetty opened her green eyes. Tired eyes, perhaps, but still very lovely.
Silly of me.
Now, take things easy.
Yes, my dear.
What about Roger and his bruisers?
No trouble as yet.
And your Angelo?
Nothing from him, I fear.
I guess you boys are waiting for me to come good on Roger's doings.
So, my dear, being in the business we are.
I know a good deal about you, Bruce. About this job with a meat importing outfit being a blind. About you and Sir Giles being British agents. Oh, you don't have to deny it.
Thanks.
And you can thank Sally Bruin for anything I tell you.
That's the point, before I forget it. You say that friend Deauville has been carrying on with Miss Bruin?
You can say that again, Sir Giles.
Well, Carson was rather under the impression that Deauville had been pestering her.
Like fun, he's been pestering her.
What's this?
She's been haunting him just as much as he's been haunting her. And don't let anyone fool you otherwise.
There you are, Carson.
Oh, I don't know what to make of that.
Miss Bruin isn't quite the young innocent you imagine.
She certainly isn't.
Well, what do you know about her, Hetty?
Little else.
Oh.
She's working in with Deauville?
In the murderous frame of mind I am, I'd like to say she was, but I don't think so.
I see.
And now for a very important point. Very important to us, Miss Fitzhenry. With whom is Deauville working?
You've got no idea, Sir Giles.
We've an inkling.
So?
Either the freelancers...
No, not the freelancers.
Then it's some major continental power.
That's right.
Which one, my dear?
You know, you boys are going to doubt me when I say this, but I'm being dead honest. I don't know.
We don't doubt you. However...
But you really do, huh?
Well, it is a little, shall we say, odd.
I could never wheedle it out of Roger. I just don't know.
Then we must leave it at that.
Seems so. But, Hetty, who else is bound up with him?
Well, there's quite a team of local boys.
Anyone we know?
Well...
Herman Nagel?
Oh, no, not really. That sorry character's prepared to sell his soul to anyone who comes along.
Yes, we thought as much.
He's worked for Roger at times, and he's worked for Roger's rivals.
Us?
And others.
Others, such as Fakerelli?
No, I don't know about her.
Then, Helena Jansen?
Now, she's a one.
So we believe.
There's some link between her and Roger.
Yes?
Though I can't make it out.
Oh, why so?
Well, he seems to have some hold over her.
Oh, blackmail, perhaps.
Yes, it'd be his doggone form.
Don't upset yourself, Hetty.
No, I guess not.
You were saying that Deauville seemed to have some hold.
Sure, Sir Giles. Yet, on the other hand, she seems to have some hold on him.
It's very interesting.
Most. But to press on, Hetty, have you by any chance heard of Charco?
Have I heard of him? I ask you.
Well, I really should say, can you tell us anything about him?
Only that he's got the full death ray secret in his pocket, barring what he has to get from someone called the Cossack. And he's made some boast about mopping up the opposition before that character makes his appearance.
That's all you know?
Bruce, I assure you, Roger knows nothing more than you.
And what about the Cossack?
He was one of the European scientists that came to this part of the world and scattered.
Yes.
And he's due to turn up in Rio at the time of... Bruce.
Carson, that sounds like Doble and his gang.
So, it seems they're fighting amongst themselves.
Oh, could it be that Angelo has arrived with his relative?
Of course,
eh?
Angelo.
Now, I think perhaps we should peer through the servery door at least to make certain they aren't wanting in numbers.
Right, Sir Giles, but before we go...
Hurry, man. This sounds rather lively, to say the least of it.
Hetty was telling us something about the Cossack.
Oh, yes?
Due to turn up in Rio at the time of the...
Carnival, Bruce.
Carnival?
The Lenten Festival.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, there's quite a carnival in the corridor. Come on, let's take a peep at it.
So, sir. And you keep well in the back of the room, Hetty. As Sir Giles says, quite a carnival. Angelo and his relatives were putting the finishing touches to Deauville and his offsiders when Sir Giles and I took our first peep. We went outside to find that only Deauville remained of the opposition, and he was dishevelled and surly, as Angelo made certain he couldn't escape. Sir Giles chiefly explained to the neighbouring tenants that there was nothing amiss, just a friendly warm-up for the carnival. Angelo dismissed his relatives and accompanied us back into the apartment.
By Jove, Angelo, old fellow. Quite a murderous-looking bunch of fellows. I dare say friend Deauville agrees.
Was something wrong, school chum? Not talking?
Apparently not.
Well, we're going to insist.
I rather agree, Carson.
Yes, we've been hearing quite a deal about your clandestine activities.
We have.
For instance, we'd like to know for precisely what continental power you're working.
Indeed.
And furthermore, Deauville, how you come to know that the mysterious Cossack will be coming to Rio for the carnival. Now, old chap, you were never tongue-tied at the old alma mater. Speak up.
I'm sorry, but he won't be speaking now.
Hetty.
Senor, Excellency.
Yes, Angelo. The young lady has a gun.
Quite menacing, my dear.
It's meant to be.
But why this sudden change of heart?
Never mind. But Roger won't be answering those questions. I'm afraid I've suffered a change of my very weak heart.
My faith in the fair sex had been rather shaken by Hetty's revelations on Sally Bruin, but now I was to be shaken by this sudden change in Hetty. Meanwhile, it seemed that the Rio Carnival was to provide a dazzling background to the final efforts in Operation Death Ray.